Welcome back to HCISD's LearnTX podcast, and I'm happy you're here joining us today for our second episode of our parent series. It is our mission with LearnTX that we inspire continuous learning by fulfilling the desire and joy of acquiring new knowledge. I'm your host, Jennifer Maldonado, and today we're discussing HCISD's ReEntry plan with our guest, your superintendent, Dr. Art Cavazos. Welcome back, sir. And thank you for joining us today.
Excited to be back. Thank you.
There's so many factors that take place when considering the health and safety of our students and school community. And last Thursday, our board approved a new reentry plan. Tell us, what does that mean for HCISD? Can you walk us through what this looks like for our students and families?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me back. And we're really excited at the next part of our pathway to reopening our HCISD schools. So the board did approve a waiver upon our recommendation. And so basically what that means is that while we'll be reentering students back that chose face-to-face instruction or hybrid, it'll be a gradual reentry. And so the state of Texas allows for 4 weeks of remote learning, which we are currently on the third week. Next week will be the fourth week. And then an extension of an additional 4 weeks that includes a gradual reentry plan. And so October 5th, we'll be entering the next 4 weeks of our transitioning to opening our schools. And basically what that means is that we've taken into consideration many factors in deciding in what methods will we use to transition students back to our campuses. And so it's critical first that our parents and our listeners visit our website so that they can get the latest information. I'll give you the general information here in this conversation. But when you think about the first week, October 5th, I'll say that we had our task force that includes many members of our school community and our external school community. We had Dr. James Castillo, our public health director, that's also a member of our task force, our Teachers of the Year for 2019, our PTA presidents throughout the school district, that we came together in conversations to decide how do we gradually re-enter students so that the campuses can begin to work their protocols with a small number of students and then eventually bringing all students back. And so some students will have to wait maybe a week. Other students may have to wait 2 weeks in order to come back to our HCISD campuses. Again, this is for the students that have chosen face-to-face instruction when asked what delivery method they wanted to engage in, or they chose hybrid. And so that sits around 30% of our student population that wants to return back to our HCISD campuses, with 70% remaining in remote learning. So in general, first week of school, October 5th, of our reentry plan, all special needs students that are in our life skills units or are in our PPCD units will be re-entered into our schools beginning October 5th. Students, staff's children from campus-based staff will be returning to our campuses also week 1. At the elementary, we have our pre-K through second grade students and their siblings that will be returning October 5th. And so what that means is that if you have a child, say in first grade, but you also have one in third grade, you can send your third grader as well. We do not want to split up the families at the elementary, so that group will return. At the middle schools, we'll have sixth graders plus their siblings that attend the middle school. And so if you have a sixth grader and also a seventh grader, they can return beginning October 5th if you chose face-to-face or hybrid. At the elementary, we do not offer hybrid as an option. And so we do offer it at the secondary. Then you move on to the ninth grade campus. And those students that are going to be coming back to our ninth grade campuses have been divided into alphabet. And so there's a part of the alpha that will return. I encourage you to visit the website to get that information. At the high schools, it'll be our seniors and some of the students that will be in our CTE programs, our career and technical education programs. They require some contact hours, practicum hours in order for them to receive their certification. We want to get them back in school as soon as possible. So they are in the first group. With regards to our specialty programs, so STEM Square Prep Academy, all students who chose face-to-face or hybrid may return week 1. Early college, high school, all students that chose those methods may come back also week 1. At the School of Health Professions, also may return. And then you have after-school activities. And so we will be opening responsibly our athletics programs and our arts programs. Going back to the specialty schools, we're also going to allow kids that participate in the conservatory to return as well, which is in the arts. I may have missed one group, but make sure you visit the website. Also in the afternoon programming, we are going to be opening our extracurricular activities responsibly, and I encourage you to visit the athletic website as well. But our varsity and our sub-varsity programs will begin October 5th for after-school programming only. For day program, you'll have to follow the process in reentry. So week 2, we have our 3rd through 5th graders at the elementary that will be coming in. So basically you have the 3rd through 5th graders are going to have to wait 5 more days to come back to our schools. And so the week of October 5th, they stay put in remote learning, and then they come back the next week. And our middle schools, 7th and 8th graders will return that second week. At our freshman academy, Kano Freshman Academy, you'll have another group of the alphabet returning. At our high schools, you'll have 9th and 10th graders that will be returning week 2. So the 9th and 10th graders have to wait an additional 5 days, those 5 days. Week 1, when we brought the seniors, if they're siblings in that campus in 10th and 11th and 9th grade, they can return as well. Then you go to week 3. And so in week 3, you have the last part of the alphabet for Kano Academy, and you have 11th graders. And so as you can tell, Mrs. Maldonado, there's been a lot of thought put into how do we responsibly re-enter students into our campuses. And keep in mind that families that chose face-to-face instruction or hybrid, they've been totally remote at this point for the first 4 weeks. And so gradually re-entering them, allowing us to do that responsibly is critical. And so that's why we asked the Board of Trustees to approve that waiver. And we're very proud of the Board of Trustees for taking that stance. And so in Harlingen, we make a commitment in HCISD for the safety and quality education of our students. And this will give us that edge to gradually re-enter our students to our schools.
And safety and the healthy of our students and faculty and staff, of course, is a priority for everyone, not just our school community, but our local community as well. So I know that is the top priority. So this is definitely a sensitive subject today. So thank you for taking time to walk us through all of those steps. And so as students re-enter, I know that many of our parents and families that have selected to send students back to either face-to-face instruction or a hybrid model are wondering, what does the day in the life of a student look like if they've selected that pathway?
Well, it's going to be quite different, as you can imagine, because we want safety to be at the top of the list and our priority. And so a day in the life of a student actually begins at home. And so we have some health protocols that we've also posted on our website. Teachers and administrators will be having meetings with those families that are going to be sending their kids back for face-to-face or hybrid. You'll be asked to go through an orientation so that you know what the health protocols are. It's going to be a little different, but we're super excited to begin to welcome kids back into HCISD. And so beginning at the home, early in the morning, as the kids are getting ready to come to school, there will be some some health screening that the parents are going to have to conduct before the student comes to our campuses. If the child rides our school bus, there will also be protocols at the school bus and at the pickup point. And so, to give you an example, there will be temperature checks before the child comes onto our school bus. There will be applying social distancing in our school buses. We will be cleaning our school buses frequently throughout this process. We encourage parents that when possible, that they bring the child to the campus themselves. However, if transportation is a necessity, they can certainly use our transportation system. But we encourage also parents that they wait by the school, by the bus pickup point with their child and until they get cleared to come onto the bus. If they are unable to do that and the child is not cleared, they will be taken to the campus, and then the nurse will assist at that point to communicate with the parents on next steps. Once they are on the bus, we are going to do our protocols there once they arrive at the campus. So by drop-off, pickup, there will also be new protocols on how you drop off your child and how you pick up your child. And your campus principal and administrators will be going over those details with you. While I'm not going to cover all of them, some of the most important ones, and while they're all important, but some of the most that are important is students will be expected to wear face masks at different points of their experience in our school buildings. We encourage them to wear face masks, not necessarily only for their safety, but for the safety of everyone else. They will also be provided face shields. And so while they're working at their desks, they may be wearing their face shield. They're definitely encouraged to wear both if that's what they choose, but they will wear one of them. Our staff is also provided with face shields and face masks that they will be expected to wear depending on their activities that they're conducting there in class. There will be a system by which kids are taken to do hand washing protocols. There will be a system for eating breakfast and eating lunch with all social distancing being applied. You know, over the summer, Ms. Maldonado, our maintenance staff and our custodians and our principals and even teachers coming in, they have set up the entire campuses so that we can enforce social distancing and so that the kids feel comfortable. But there will be changes to the day-to-day of what kids are used to. But what won't change is our commitment to a quality education. And we have done a lot of work around that area to ensure that we're providing the very best quality education for our students because they deserve it. They didn't ask for this pandemic, and we as the adults are responsible for mitigating the factors to keep them safe. There will be limited access to our campuses by parents and visitors. And so I encourage you to visit our website to get those protocols because you will also experience a little different in how you visit our campuses because we want to make certain that we protect our students and our staff throughout the process. We stand ready. We're excited. Our school buildings were designed to have children in them. And for those parents who choose to return them, we're ready to welcome them back.
Thank you for walking us through those, just kind of a visual image of what it will look like for our students. And I know that you sent out the communication with the health and safety protocols document. And, you know, I personally read through that, you know, information myself as well. And, you know, some of our parents, they did, you know, select to send their students back, but some may still be apprehensive in that choice. And concerned that if, you know, a student or staff member does test positive and they have been on campus. So one of the questions, and I get this question as well, is what will the communication look like if, you know, a member has tested positive that's been on campus, and what are the protocols if something like this occurs?
Great question, Jennifer. And of course, those are questions that parents have. I also encourage you to visit our frequently asked questions location on our website for that as well. But the protocols include, we are working with our local health director and of course following the state and CDC guidelines. So we're required to report if there's an incident, COVID-19 confirmed case on our campus. We're also required to inform the individuals who may have had exposure to that child or to that staff member. And so think about that for a minute. And exposure is defined in the health protocols that I keep referencing to. And so I encourage you to go and review those carefully. But exposure means cumulatively spending 15 minutes with no social distancing or your mask off next to the individual who may have contracted COVID-19 or is confirmed to have COVID-19. And so if there's a case and your child or there's an adult that may have been exposed, you will get notification from our campuses. And in general, individuals will get notification just that there is a case, but you will, if you have some form of exposure, you're going to be told as individually that you need to monitor your child in that case. And so the process is not necessarily one that's new or unique to Harlingen. It's one of the processes that's required by the state agency, and we're required to report those cases as well. And so that is why it's important that we impress on parents. The self-screening at the home before they come to our campus is critical. That's level one. Next, when they come to our campuses, they will, if you're dropping off your child, they will not exit the car until there's a temperature check. And they'll wearing their masks, and then they make it to the classroom. And they, of course, they get their breakfast or their lunch, whatever the time of the day it is. But we will be adhering to those protocols pretty stringently because we want to make certain that we mitigate all the factors that may cause an issue at our campuses. But in the event that there is, we also have protocols for that, and we will follow them, and we will keep our parents informed. But again, I encourage you to visit a very well-designed document by my senior team members and by the task force that really outlines all the protocols and what will happen in the event that there's a situation. We're going to do everything possible to make certain we mitigate that. But in the event that there is, then we will address it as well.
Well, I definitely think knowledge is power. And I saw the document and there's a flow chart. It's very clear. It outlines a lot of details. So I highly encourage our community to go to the document and the frequently asked questions resource that you referenced. So knowledge is definitely power. And, you know, as parents, we try to make the best decisions possible that we can with the information that we have at hand. But I've got to dig into the question that I get asked the most, and that is, what happens if I'm a parent and I choose to change my pathway? When can I make a change in that pathway choice?
So I get that question as well. And so the way it's going to work is before we started 4 weeks of remote, you were asked to designate your pathway through our online registration process or by working with your campus administration. So everyone was asked, choose your pathway, whether it's going to be face-to-face, it's going to be hybrid when available, or it's going to be remote. And the reason we did that and we insisted for people to select their pathway was so that we could do our appropriate planning. So the next time you will be asked right before the 9-week period, probably a couple of weeks or 3 weeks before that, are you interested in changing your pathway? And if you are at that point, you will be given an opportunity to change your pathway. Now, that's only if you're changing your pathway to come to our campuses. So I'm remote, I'd like to come hybrid, or I'm remote, I'd like to come face-to-face. You're gonna need to wait till the grading period or right before you're asked if you wanna change for the next quarter. of our school year. If you are face-to-face and hybrid and choose to go remote, you can make that move because it doesn't impact at the campus level the number of people that are at our campuses. If there's a unique situation at your home and some situations or circumstances have changed that you would like consideration to send your child to face-to-face or hybrid, you're gonna be required to work that individually with your campus principal and administration. Those are going to be very far and few between. We've done our planning around those that selected face-to-face and hybrid, and that's what we're prepared to gradually re-enter and do full operations until the next grading period. And so hope that answers your question. You will have an opportunity at the next quarter to designate a different pathway. If there's a unique situation, work with your campus principal on that.
Great. I think that's, again, one of the most asked questions. So I think our families will be really excited to hear the answer to that question. And they're eager as, information comes and it changes, and they're watching, the news and listening to the school information, but also their information coming from the community. So thank you for, letting us know that information as well. Is there any specific message that you would like to send to our parents and families that have chosen to keep their students at home during this time?
Sure. And so just like you're doing now, make certain your child is engaged. Make certain your child is working alongside their teachers in a remote setting to make certain that they stay right on schedule with their assignments and what is required by the teacher. Continue to support your child in the remote setting. And for those of you that chose face-to-face and hybrid, we are super excited to welcome you back. We're looking forward to October 5th as we begin the gradual reentry. At the end of the day, whether you're remote, hybrid, or face-to-face, our commitment is that you will have a quality education. We want you to flourish in HCISD. We want you to reach your highest hopes and put yourself on a path to realize your dreams for your future. The entire staff, and so Mrs. Maldonado, I made a decision to visit all our campuses, and we have 30 campuses, to visit all our campuses and getting out there. And we have, the teachers are excited. They're ready. They've been waiting and they've been working hard. There are some situations that we're going to work ourselves through. Athletics, how's that going to work? Things are going to be a little different, as you can imagine. But one thing you can rest assured is that the entire staff at HCISD, all 3,000 staff members, are highly committed to making certain that you have an incredible experience in HCISD. It's not about customer service, it's about the experience you have in our school district. And so welcome back, starting October 5th, and continue to forge on. As I said last time, I am very confident that we will emerge stronger and more unified, and we will be even a better school district and moving forward, because it is during these trying times that our true self is revealed. And so as your superintendent of schools, I'm highly committed to ensure that your experience in our school district is second to none. And so I'm super excited for all the work that has been done. I praise my teachers as they are doing the heavy lifting. All our staff is working diligently. And so thank you to our teachers, our administrators, and all our support staff for their incredible work. And our bus drivers, they will be the first line out there as they're picking up our children. And so we look forward to October 5th when there will be re-entry of our students. And so that'll be a great day as well for HCISD students.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I'm super excited for what's to come in HCISD, and we are forever transformed. with this new style of teaching for our district, and I think it's all for the better. I'm super excited to see just how this transforms our students, their resiliency, and everything that has come out as a mom, and what I've seen in my own children is just fantastic. So thank you for all you're doing for our students. Ultimately, they're the ones that, you know, all of this is for. So thank you very much.
That's right. That's why we do what we do. God bless you all, and God bless HCISD.
Well, thank you, Dr. Z, for joining us today. And thank you, listeners, for joining us as well. And we want to invite you back for next time, where we really talk about some of the things that Dr. C just alluded to, which is UIL, the impact on HCISD and what that means for arts and athletics. So we encourage you to get connected by visiting our site at hcisd.org/LearnTX, that's LearnTX, or by tweeting using the hashtag LearnTX. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope you will join us next time for LearnTX, where it is our mission that LearnTX will inspire continuous learning by fulfilling the desires and joy of acquiring new knowledge. Thank you. We'll see you next time.